say that every year. And when you play the city game, you really throw out every record and every stat. You know it's going to be exactly what today was. And I'm really proud of our players, how they persevered. We really felt like it was never in doubt, even when Pitt took the lead, and Coach Birdie did some really nice stuff to isolate their big kid and to create some advantages, and he's certainly doing a good job there. But I'm really excited about what our kids did. We're playing six freshmen, and we've got, I think the best player in the city. I think we've got the second best player in the city. Everyone knows about Meg McConnell. People need to know who Journey Kiyaku is too, because she's just as good. And if Meg's Batman, she's Aquawoman. And that's the only way I'll come up with a better description. But really happy for what they did. You have to give some credit to Pitt. We score about 35% of our points off of turnovers. And today, all 8 of our points from turnovers came in the first quarter. So they made some adjustments that really forced us to play a different way than we wanted to. But we were able to find a way to win, and we're the city champs again.
You mentioned Kadia Faye and how she was, without even touching beyond the arc, she was a dominant force in the paint. How much did Keandra play into your game plan to limit her, and how successful would you say that was?
Faye is a very good post player. She's very good. She's really, really good that if you're a defender and you have your arms out, even here, not here, just here, she's great at getting in there and making it look like you're holding her. And that's what I was saying to the officials the entire time is she's actually creating that, and they were missing that until late. And then I felt like she would hook on her post-ups. More credit to her. That kid can really play. And we had to find a way to combat that. And we did a couple different things. When Zero was in the game, Miles, we went completely off of her and basically doubled her before she even caught the ball. And we run something called Fire, where we send everyone to Faye on the catch, and they got us on two buckets that way. She's a really good player, and our kids found a way to limit her late in the fourth, and that's what champions do.
What do you think it means for your team just to keep, you won last year in the city game, win this year as well? I mean, how much does it mean for your program to win such an important game?
Well, I think we created that. When I started 18 years ago at Duquesne, Pitt was clearly dominant. Agnes Baronato had just come off a couple Sweet 16 appearances, and we decided to pick a fight and be the underdog. And 18 years later, I think we're 11-6 against them, and we're still the underdog. And our kids really think that they're the underdog. And so every time we play this game, there's a little more of a sense of it being a little bit different than a regular game. And I'm going to tell you, 2-3 years ago, I had staff members and some other people say, "Do you really want to make it this important?" Yeah, that's what college sports is about. Let's have some fun with it. So we do that with the city game, and now we do it with the county game too, with us playing Robert Morris. Like, this is good for women's basketball. There's going to be some times when we lose, but we're going to fight, and it's going to be a heck of a basketball game for the general public, and that's whether we're playing Pitt or Robert Morris. And so I think this is great for women's basketball in general in Western PA.
You mentioned Kiyaku. I mean, how does her play give you a much more dynamic offense when she's on the floor?
She's unstoppable in the open floor because of her speed and her ability to finish at the rim. Today she was 7 of 11, and she's not going to be perfect, but I thought she had 1 or 2 more that she could have made. She's really dynamic in that open floor, but when she's making threes, then it becomes really, really difficult to guard her. The only thing that limits her is that she's got to find her way through some trees sometime, and Pitt has good size, and she had to find her way through some trees, and a couple times it didn't work out.
Both times that you had to call a timeout when Pitt was going on a run to either tie or take the lead, you got a three-pointer within about 10 seconds of the next possession. What was the message in those huddles as your first half lead sort of started to evaporate?
Well, I'm awful at calling timeouts. I'm not very good at that, and I can kind of smile at it right now, but it's cost us. And so I've learned as a coach to stop runs with timeouts sooner, and that's the evolution of what I've become as a coach. I think sometimes in huddles, especially when you have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, I will come in and just say, breathe. No one say anything. Let's just breathe. Let's breathe through our nose. Let's relax, because we're so hyped and we want to give them information as coaches, and they're so hyped because of the game that we're playing that there was multiple times where during those timeouts, both of them, it was, okay, we're going to have the other coaches talk a little bit about a change of what we want to do, offense or defense, but let's also just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and we're okay.
I mean, Megan obviously had another solid game for you guys. I mean, she's been pretty successful in the city game during her career. I mean, what does it mean to have a player from the local area, have success in this game and just being a part of your program during that as well?
4 for 8 from the three-point line, 12 rebounds, 14 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. It's kind of an average Meg McConnell night. We could all laugh about that, but that literally is a Meg McConnell night right there. When we should all be celebrating someone like Meg McConnell. She's a local kid that came to us with maybe 2 other Division I offers, and she's made herself into a great basketball player. Simply the best player in this city. And if you want to watch an exciting basketball player who leaves everything on the floor and is completely committed 100% to her team and her teammates and winning, come and watch us play, because she's a joy. She's part of our relentless joy.
In her 4 seasons, in the 4 games she's faced Pitt here, she has sat for a total of 4 minutes combined across the 4 of them on the bench. How trustworthy is that to have that sort of workhorse ready to go for you?
She's my security blanket. I love her dearly. Like we're really close. I trust her more than any player that I've coached, and I've coached a lot of very good players in my time in Duquesne. There was one little point tonight where I almost took her out about 5:30 in the second, just to give her a 30-second blow going into the media timeout. And I went back to what Coach Ariema says, great players don't get tired. She's a great player. Meg doesn't get tired. I really appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for supporting women's basketball.